Welcome everyone to the webinar for PassPorter's live guides and trip planner tools. So this is a short webinar to get you acquainted with what the live guides are and the trip planner tools as well, and how they can benefit your clients and possibly you as well. Because my understanding is that everyone here is going to get access to the live guides afterwards, and that is going to give you that we'll be adding you to our system, and you'll be getting an email just like your clients do, so you'll see the entire process. So first, I want to tell you about myself because some of you may know who I am. Definitely recognize some names in that list, but I don't want to assume everything. So my name is Jennifer Marks, and I am the co-founder of PassPorter. So I have been a big fan of Disney since the 80s. And I started going to Disney a lot in the 90s when I became a grown-up. And over those many trips, I developed a system to plan and organize my Disney trips. And that system turned into PassPorter's Walt Disney World Travel Guidebook. And that was almost 20 years ago now, if you can believe that. The book has won many awards and become a bestseller many times, and more importantly, has garnered a huge community of fans who I think of as friends. PassPorter is my life. It's a really big deal, and it it is awesome. I love it. So, but of course, times change, and over the last maybe 5, 7, 10 years, we have had more requests from our readers for mobile options because, of course, we're all using our phones now, right? So I looked into a lot of different ways. I mean, of course, the PDFs for PassPorter can be put on a phone, but that really wasn't what people were looking for. And a lot of people requested apps. And for a while, I thought I would do an app as well. But the more and more I looked at it, the more I realized that's not going to work for what we do. So, in response to the request for more mobile friendly information and fresher information, because after all, while PassPorter is always strives to be up to date, as soon as we send those files into our printer, it's basically out of date. That moment, something has changed, and it's been a source of huge frustration for me. And while our readers still enjoy our information, I want to be giving the most up-to-date information to our readers because really that's what's going to be the most useful. So my solution to this problem was to develop PassPorter's live guide system. Oh, you know something? Here I am. I'm telling you all this stuff, and I meant to turn my camera on so you could see me. So let me figure out how to do that. So let's see. Let me go back to view. Sorry. And I know I can turn on a camera. Oh, here we go. So sharing. Let's see. Stop sharing and go to my camera. There. So I have no idea. Can you guys see me or not? I think my camera's on. Oh, here we go. Okay, I can see myself now. So can you see me? I'm going to assume you can because I can't actually see your responses very well. So again, I'm Jennifer. So it's awesome to be here today. So my response to the problem of wanting to have mobile information accessible anywhere and information that was up to date all the time was to develop PassPorter's live guide system. So this is essentially a really fancy database that I wrote myself. And the way that it works is that you can access it from anywhere. And it's not just a boring database. It's a nice, pretty little package that was built from the ground up to be mobile friendly. And all of our Disney information lives inside of the live guide now. So while we have, our older print books, at this point, I have transitioned everything over to our live guide system, and it's kept up to date all the time. So I was at Walt Disney World last week over the weekend, and I was updating on the fly. Yes. So I just did our podcast where I said I wasn't working. So, every once in a while there would be some downtime, and I would just pull it up on my phone and I'd be like, oh, this changed. And I would just do it because it was so easy to do. And that is what is the big awesome thing about the live guides, is that it's so easy to keep up to date, and it's so easy for readers to get up to date information. And unlike all the information that's on the web, there's so much of it. filled with Facebook. I mean, it's just tons of it. This is in a guidebook format. So it's what our readers are used to, you know, chapters, sections within there, everything laid out logically the way that you'd want it when you plan it. It's just like that. It's just now up to date all the time, which is amazing. So the live guide system went online almost a year ago now, and it's been in soft opening, and on June 1st, it came out of soft opening to huge success. So I I was amazed at the response that I got. I had, you know, we've been getting wonderful, excellent um, feedback all that time, you know, and naturally it was in soft opening. So we were, you know, improving and stuff and as we went along, but I pushed it. I did a good job and I pushed it right up to June 1st. And I was like overwhelmed by the response. And we had so many people sign up. We have thousands of people now using PassPorter's live guide system. And every day I get comments from people. And sometimes I'm like, oh, they're going to say they want a print book, right? Because we still have lots of people who want print books. But more and more, they're just so excited that they can just access this information anywhere they go, because they can bring it up on their computer, they can bring it up on their phone, their tablet, whatever. So like, for example, just yesterday I got a comment that said, this is from Marie, and she said, this is my one-stop source for Walt Disney World trip reference and collecting all data for my trip. I love it all. And I got another comment from Margaret who said, every question I've ever had about Disney has been answered in one place. And then Jim said, I love how you keep the guides up to date all the time. It is such a great resource. Thank you. So it's been a long journey to get to this point, but I am so happy we are here. It is awesome. So I am going to show you what the live guides are all about so that you have some idea of what your clients are getting access to, because some of them already have access. We started doing the passes, which are for certain packages. I don't even know which packages those are, but certain ones. I think it was June 16th. It was last week we started doing it. And so, and I've noticed that some people are already in there using it, downloading the PDF, filling out their worksheets, everything, because I can actually see what people do, and it's really cool. So I want you to know how this works. So let's skip back over to, I'm going to share my screen again. And share my screen. Okay. All right. And then present. Okay. So what is PassPorter's live guide? So I made some slides, but we will actually get into, I will show you this live as well. I thought this might be easier for some people though. Okay, so it is a new breed of digital guidebook. It is not just an ebook, so it is a whole lot more. In fact, this is the first of its kind that I know of. It's really quite amazing, if I say so myself, and of course, you know, I'm terribly biased. All right, so it's always up to date. It's accessible everywhere, from mobile devices to print. And by print, I mean that you can download a full PDF at any time and print out the whole thing or the pages you want. It's full of interactive features for travel planning, and it saves client data in the cloud for retrieval anywhere. So you can plan your trip as you read through the live guide, and you can access those plans that you've saved in your live guide from any device that has access to the live guide. I think that's pretty cool. So how does PassPorter's live guide help your clients? So PassPorter can substantially improve your client's vacation by giving them easy access to helpful tips and valuable information, which means they'll want to book more vacations in the future. So it's a win-win. It gets them excited. I've always believed that PassPorter and any guidebook and any website that gives valuable Disney information is an asset to Disney itself, the company, because the more a person understands about Disney World or Disney Cruise Line or Disneyland, the better vacation they're going to have, and the more likely they're going to come back. I really, truly believe that. Okay, so the kinds of things that it can give our readers and your clients are, it tells you how and when to get to and from Walt Disney World, what to pack in the suitcase and the park bag, where to go and what to do in every theme park, where to meet Disney characters at the parks, and how to find all of the overlooked attractions, where to eat, and how to get the reservations you want. So these are all really common questions that we get about Disney vacations, right? These are the basic ones. The people who are, maybe it's their first time. These are the things. PassPorter answers all of these things just as it always has. And in fact, as we go in there, you'll see it looks a lot like a PassPorter paper guidebook that many people are familiar with. So how does it work? Step one is MEI Travel and Mousefan Travel gives annual passes to clients with qualifying packages. So the annual pass to the Live Guide system starts the day the pass is granted, and it goes for 365 days. And at any time, the client can see when their pass ends. So a year is generally more than enough time for people to use and get the information that they need. Step two, your client immediately gets an email letting them know how to use their pass. So it happens right away. And I'm going to actually show you the email. And then step three, your client clicks the link in the email, logs in, and can begin using the live guide right away. So this is what an email looks like. I sent one to myself. Of course, I called myself Sandy, but whatever. So this is the email they get. I'm going to read this to you. Okay. So howdy, Sandy. My name is Jennifer, and I'm the creator of PassPorter's Live Guide and Trip Planner Tools. I'm pleased to report that you are the recipient of a complimentary annual pass to PassPorter's Live Guide and Trip Planner Tools, courtesy of Sarah Varney, because she is my agent, right? And the great folks over at MEI Travel and Mousefan Travel. Now that you have an awesome trip booked, they thought you'd enjoy diving deep into your destination with an award-winning guide. Now let me just stop there for a second and say that so when your client's passes are put into the system, your name as their agent is also attached to it, along with some other information. And so when they receive their email, they see your name as the agent of their trip, right? Okay, so continuing. PassPorter's Live Guide is an innovative guide that is always kept up to date. It's mobile friendly and filled with tools and features that allow you to use the information in ways that fit your lifestyle. You can read it live on your computer or smartphone, download a PDF to have as an offline resource, and even print it out in a variety of formats. You will be receiving more information on how to make the most of your pass, but in the meantime, why not head over now and log in? Here is your login information. And we have Sandy's member name and her password, and the login link right there. And once you're logged in, you can start reading your live guide right away. If you have any questions about, okay, so here we go, and you're going to, hopefully, my screen is really big. I couldn't figure out any other way to make this happen, so you're really going to be looking at half of my screen here. My notes are on the other half, so it's the right half that I'll be showing you my screen in. So this is my Gmail account, and this is the email that I was showing you earlier. And okay, so this is how this works. So they get this email that says, hey, you can come in here and you can do this. So here's the member name and the password, which by the way is the same for everybody. And we'll be encouraging people to change their passwords, so but this might be helpful in case you have questions. So they're going to click this link right here, passporter.com/login.php, and it goes right to the login page. And I'm going to type in that member name. The member name is auto assigned and cannot be changed unless, of course, if they email me at support, I can change that. But it's not changed in the system. It's based on their name, first and last name, and their member ID. Just so we didn't have duplicates. And the password, MEI rocks. Remember this, right? And it logs logging in. And so the screen that they get says you're now logged in, and it makes it really clear that this live guide subscription is compliments of, and this is the agent name. Again, Sarah is my agent. So that's why we see Sarah's name. So Sarah and MEI Travel and Mousefan Travel, who thanks you for your business and wishes you happy vacation planning. And then right below that is the travel agent's name and an email link to send your agent a message. Again, that relationship is really important to preserve here. And then there's a tip right here to change your passwords. That not everybody has the same password. And of course, it's always going to be easier for them to remember their own passwords than the passwords that we give them. Okay, so from here they can go to their dashboard, and I'll show you that briefly. So the dashboard is what they'll see generally when people log in, after this initial login, and it's an overview of the system. So the live guides and the tools put together. So we put news up here. Over here on the right are their trips that they're planning. Up here, reservation guide updates. This is a brand new person, so they have lots of updates. Normally the system keeps track of each visit and shows you this number will change in the future based on fewer updates, because they're not new. And recently added things down here. But I'm going to go back, and we're going to go right into the live guide. So they can just click this right here, just as if they're opening a book. That's the idea. And here's the cover of the 2017. And I want to show you navigation first. It's pretty simple. It's just the easiest way is just to click next, and you just keep it clicking next, and you'll see it looks a lot like the paper book, print book, if you ever had one. And that's intentional. I wanted our readers to feel comfortable. And also, this isn't really a web page, right? This is a guidebook. So this is the way it's set up. There may be other options in the future for people who want to just scroll and keep reading, but for now, this is the way we have it set up. So navigation is through the next and the previous buttons, just like this. If you, there's also a contents, right? So you can just drop this down. It brings up this menu over here on the left, and it's pretty simple. So front matter, each chapter is listed here, and then there's inside each chapter, you can drop down, individual sections. So like in Touring the World, the Magic Kingdom is all grouped together so that it's a little bit easier to navigate. And so we'll go to a page here. We'll go to Finding Disney Information, and it takes you right there. And you'll see it looks very similar to the print guide again. And another way of navigating through the book is to click on page numbers. So here's the page number right here. Here in this travel agent section, by the way, which references Mouse Fan Travel, because Mouse Fan Travel is our exclusive travel planner. You can actually click on the page number, and it takes you right to that page number. So can't do that in a print book, right? I think that's pretty cool. So that works that way, but you could also, there's also a contents down here, which is a more traditional contents, more like the book. And but really the way I use the book a lot is to search it. So for example, express transportation, right? That's a hot topic these days. Awesome tip, to give to your clients and stuff. So you can just type that in, and it'll bring up every instance of express transportation in our book. So let's click this first one. So getting around the parks and resort. And it just, here it is. And it actually is right here highlighted in green because it's a relatively new edition. And so just like our print books, we keep our new information highlighted in green so it's easy to spot. And one of the nice things about the live guide is that all of these new things are collected, and you can see a list of them, because some people, especially PassPorter readers who they're, or just Disney vacationers who are really well versed with Walt Disney World, they really just want to know what's new. So over here, and this is the live guides toolbar, you click on what's new, and it gives you a list that's sorted initially by date. So this is all the most recent things, and it's everything that's new in our book. And as you can see, it just keeps going on and on and on. So it's all in chronological order. You can resort it if you want by topic name or page number. So this first one, Disney Dining Plan, you just click it and it goes right to the page that has the information on, in this case, Disney Dining Plan, right? And the information that's new, which of course is the new 2018 dining plan changes that were announced last week, I think, is right here highlighted in green for people to find. So in addition to things like this, the live guide has other features which mimic a print book, but also go beyond it and extend it using new technology. So one thing that mimics it is being able to bookmark a page, right? A lot of people with the print guides would put like a tab on a page, like a flag or whatever, post-it note. But in this case, you can just bookmark it. So you just click this little icon of a bookmark up here. You can have different kinds of bookmarks if you want, but we'll just do a basic bookmark and you just submit it. Turns to red so you know that you bookmarked it. But like, what do you do past that point? So you can actually go over here to the Live Guide tool sidebar and click on My Bookmarks, and voila, there it is, right? So any page that you bookmark shows up here in your bookmarks page, and you can sort it as however you like to help you find it. And of course, if you give the bookmarks, hold on a second, I have a text from Sarah. One moment. I can't read and talk at the same time. Okay, so let me just answer this question from Sarah. So, which interestingly, I don't see this unless I just missed it. I don't see it in a chat screen. Okay, so it's fine, Sarah. No, it's cool. So, Sarah says that agents are asking if there's a discounted agent rate so they can use it for themselves. So, my understanding is Annette will be giving you all access to the live guide yourself after the webinar. So awesome, right? So yeah, you don't have to worry about that. You're going to get access. And I think this is a super awesome resource. I know I use it all the time because I can't remember everything. As I tell people, I wrote a book because I can't remember it and I need to look it up myself. So yes, you are all getting access. I don't know when today she's doing it. Maybe it's this evening, but you're all going to get access. So awesome. All right, so this is the bookmarks. Yes, awesome. Thank you, Susanna. Cool. Great. So this is the bookmarks page. Let's see. So where was I? Oh, yes. So let's do another search so I can show you more of the features of the live guide. So let's search on FastPass Plus. So there's a lot of results for FastPass Plus. So let's just go to the main topic page, FastPass here. So in addition to being able to bookmark a page, you can bookmark just a topic because you may not want you may just want to know about FastPass Plus. So you can do that. You can flag it. So I can just say flag, which is like a bookmark, but it's for a topic. So I'm giving it a different name. So I can just flag this and it'll do the same thing. It turns red. And then I can go over here to my topic flags and it shows up so that I can go back to this anytime I want to. And then you can also make comments. So let's say I want to make a comment because, you know, a lot of people would write in their books. Like PassPorter was designed for writing in. So naturally we have to have this ability to do as well. So, you know, remember to check if an attraction is tier 1 or not, right? That's super important when you're deciding what fast passes to book, right? So I can just save this note for myself and it stays here right in the page so that you see it here. It's always right here, but you can also access all of your personal notes. My comment right is right here. Remember to check if an attraction is tier 1 or not. So as you go through and make comments, you'll see them in your book. It's like you're adding to your own book, and also you can see them. And what's also cool about this is that when you go to print out a page or make a PDF, all of your notes stay right in your book. So I think that's cool because a lot of times we find information that is just really specific and you don't need to put it into a guidebook, but it's specific for your trip and you can just copy and paste it right in here. And then you've always got it and you always know where to find it. It's not like on some piece of paper floating around or in your notepad on your computer in some window that you've forgotten which one, because that's me, right? All right, and then attractions. So let's go look at the attractions because there's cool features just for that. So that's not attractions, touring the world. Disney's Animal Kingdom. Pandora. Let's go to Pandora. All right, so Avatar Flight of Passage. I gave it a 10, guys. It was awesome. All right, so on Avatar, you can click this little plus sign right here, and you can say what your preference for it is. So based on your traveler. And these traveler names can be changed based on who's in your party. So, but for now, we'll say that I really want to go on Avatar Flight of Passage, and we do a submit. Okay, so now it's saved, and you'll look, there's a little green check mark there. And let's say, okay, well, Alex also is really interested. So I'm gonna like put him down as traveler too. So now I have a green check mark and a blue check mark. Um, and hang on a second, I'm gonna make my phone stop buzzing at me. And okay, so I can see at a glance how I have check mark things, because as you may recall, in the print versions of Passporter, we had little check boxes right there, and the idea is that you could check them if you were interested in going on those attractions. So over on Navi, River Dream, let's say Greg is really interested in that. I don't think that's true, but whatever. Okay, so now we've got a purple check mark. So I can see at a glance who's interested in what. But this is cool. So if I go over to my checked eateries and attractions and the live guides toolbar, I can see in a chart which attractions which people are interested in. So, as you go through and you generate more of these check marks, you can see at a glance, that I really want to go on these, but Alex really wants these other ones. And then you can see where the overlap is, and then you know what your priority attractions are for your trip. This is really useful. People used to use like highlighters in the print books, which is cool, but this is better. This is totally better. And this also works for eateries as well. It works the same way. And of course, all of the eateries and attractions and eateries also have a place to put notes and topic flags. So you do the same thing just like I showed you before with FastPass. So those are the big features of the live guide. And of course, like I said, you can go to a print friendly page and just print out from that if you just want one page to take with you, because there's definitely people who still want hard copies, and I don't totally understand. I'm not really one of those at this point. Believe it or not, I didn't take my passporter with me when I went on my trip last weekend. I only had my live guide on my phone. All right, but you can also download the full book. So it's nice. So not everybody has internet access all the time. I totally get that, especially if you're on a cruise, right? So you can download a custom PDF. It's made just for you. It's created at the time that you press these buttons. That means that you have, it's completely up to date when you make it. So you can make it a size that fits into a binder, a passporter binder. Lots of people are still using those. Or you can make an 8.5 by 11 version if you don't care about that and just want to, maximize your page size. And this can be put onto a phone. It can be, downloaded to a computer, however you want to use it. And you can keep coming back and making PDFs all the time for the entire year that you have a pass. So that essentially means, especially this is June of 2017, I mean, at some point, we're going to start calling this PassPorter's Walt Disney World 2018. That's what we do. And if they were to get their PDF now and then not do anything, and then they decide they want to go on a trip next spring and they come back and they download that PDF, they essentially have 2 guidebooks. So it's pretty cool. It's really very cool. All right. So in addition to the live guide, there's also the trip planner section of it. So up here at the top of this section here, this is the menu for the live guide and trip planner tools. So, and let me just show you this real quick. So this menu here, which is mostly what we've been doing. So this gives access to the live guides and the ebooks that, based on the pass. And you just select it from there. And then there's also worksheets, which I'll talk about in a minute, and those are accessed here. There's tools here. So here's the dashboard that I mentioned earlier. There's a countdown, calendar, all sorts of things. This is where you can go and actually get information about your pass. So, and then there's help. So help center, and there's videos, and there's a way to contact us if you have questions. And then over here at the front, this is what I want to talk about right now. So this is the trip planner section. So when your client's pass is entered into the system, their trip dates are also added in. So in this case, this is what did I call this person? Sandy Voorhees, I think. So Sandy's trip, we know, is starting on August 1st, right? Because that information was put in by MEI Travel. So all your client is going to do is they're going to come in with like trips. Oh, hey, look, it's my Walt Disney World trip and it's starting on August 1st. Well, yeah, it is. And so when they come into here, they can actually put in their details as little or as much as they want, right? So to do transportation, you just click on edit and you like say I'm going on a flight and I'm going to be on Delta. I'm going from Detroit. Oops, that's not Detroit. That's Detroit Edison. We don't want that. To Orlando, right? And the window comes up that shows when they're leaving August at 2 p.m. and they're coming back. I think it was the 3rd or something like that. And you just add it and it shows up right here in their trip, right? Which they can edit or remove as they want to. And they can keep going through and doing the same for lodging. Everything is in here, all of the resorts. Let's say they're staying at the Contemporary. The check-in and check-out date is already entered for them. So they could just put in the confirmation number, the type of room, the location, room number, everything like that. And it all gets entered in here so they have all of their information and they can keep track of it. And then they can also plan their day-to-day trip. So on day 1st, day 1, so this is really the heart of the trip planner, the day-to-day thing. So you can add new activities. You can add where you're going, what you're eating, what you're doing, entertainment, shopping, adventures, tour, special, and other. Okay, so let's say they're going to the Magic Kingdom on their first day. So here's the day regular admission. So it actually brings up a page from the live guide directly from it. So it's all up to date and it gives an overview of whatever it is that they're doing. There's an overview and almost always pictures as well. So they can use this to plan as well. People plan just in this part and never even go look at the live guide. Whatever works for people is what works for me, right? So, and you add notes as well. So, and we want to add it, we just say add this activity. And there it is, Magic Kingdom. And of course we can change the time. Let's say we're going to go eat at, well, we're at the Magic Kingdom, so we should stay there and we should pick something. So all of these restaurants are auto-populated from our database. So when we change it, when it updates, it updates. It's really useful for that. Let's see, where should we eat? Let me show you a place that's got Cinderella's Royal Table. Okay, so here's Cinderella's Royal Table. We've got, a photo here of the stained glass there, and then we have a description and we have the hours. And so they can put in what time they're eating. So down here we can say that they're going to eat at 12, oops, go up here, 12 p.m. There we go. 12 p.m. and it's like for an hour, and it will actually default to an hour if they don't put in their time, since not everybody is going to, like, who puts in the end time up there? Just type that in. There we go. Who puts in that time? Huh. But hey, there's some people who might actually want to do that, right? All right, so August 1st from 12, oops, that says AM too. We don't want that. We want PM. There we go. Okay, so 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. You can put a note, say, I really want a window table. Ask the cast member. I don't even know if that would work. You never know, though. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? But so they can put in notes about their thing. Maybe they want to put in, for example, they might have looked at the menu and they might want to put in notes about what they're going to have. And then they can choose this is lunch. They put in lunch reservations, not yet made, reserved, and then you put in your confirmation. Now, if this trip were further in advance where they can't make their dining reservations yet, the system will actually tell them the day that they can make them. So there'll be a notification that says, oh, you can make this trip starting on this day at this time. And it actually will calculate the 10 plus 1 if they're staying on property and that sort of thing. So it's very useful for that. And then we just add the activity and there we go. So we've got a little visit icon in orange and the eat icon in green. And you just keep going through and you do the same thing. Let's say that we want to, we want to do the Happily Ever After fireworks show. And on that evening, so we obviously are going to put in the right time, which I think right now is 9 p.m. What it was this weekend. And it doesn't matter, right? So here we go, a description of the Happily Ever After show, and we add it. So, and it shows up right there. And this can be pulled up really easily on a phone, but you can also just print it out and take it with you, because some people just like to have a hard copy backup, right? In case something happens to their phone. And this works not just for Walt Disney World, but also for Disneyland, Disney Cruising, and also Orlando attractions as well, because we are working on an Orlando live guide, which will be out soon. Okay, so that's the trip planner. All right, so let me show you the last part of the live guide system that I think is really important, just the worksheets. So let's go back to the Walt Disney World guide. Oh, I got logged out because, of course, I was logged up in. All right, let's just go back here. Let's get log back in again. What was it? So I'm just going to log back in again. Sorry about my internet problems, guys. It happens every once in a while. All right. So back at the Walt Disney World guide. So this section here, the sort of middle section, these are all of our worksheets. So as you may recall from our print guides, we have, an important part of PassPorter was our worksheets, our interactivity. So of course we have those in here as well. So the first one, the first thing I list is my trip details, which actually links your book to a specific trip. Because if you go on a different trip, you're going to want it connected to a different, your book connected to that trip, not your last trip or whatever. So that's what that does. And it's auto-selected for everybody because their trips are auto-generated when the pass is given to them. Okay, so if we go into like my budget, so you'll see that this is very similar to the print worksheet. Now the idea with it is that you can put in the least amount that you want to spend, the most amount that you can possibly spend, and what you actually think you're going to spend on each of these things. And of course, it calculates it for you. So let's say we're going to spend $5 on apps and $100 on rental cars. So as you can see down here, $105. And so, we're going to spend a bajillion dollars on park passes. That's too low. It needs to be higher, right? So, and it does it right down here, and then you can just save it. And you can have as many worksheets, and you just bring them all up, and you just, the same thing. So, you would have had to make a photocopy before if you were using the print guide. Now you can have an infinite number of worksheets assigned to various trips. We also have all the same worksheets that we have in the book. So here's the travel worksheet. The packing list is really cool because you can, once you've filled it out for your trip, you can come back to it and see what you took last time. I think that's really helpful. So in addition to being able to choose, like one skirt, but you can also add your own things. So let's say I'm going to get one of those really cool dresses from the dress shop at Disney Springs. So of course I need to bring my petticoat. So you could put that right there, and then you can save it, and then you can come back to your packing list and you can see what you took last time, and you can modify it. I think that's really, really useful. You can use this menu to move around. It'll actually, so I saved that budget worksheet, and you can see it tells me I've got a worksheet saved. Let's see, touring is fairly simple from the beginning, but basically it's a way for you to make a list in this format of what you're planning to do. I think it's easier to do like an itinerary over in a trip planner, but not everybody feels that way. Some people, there's a wide variety of ways that people like to do this. So this is another way of doing it. So we've got the check marks in the book, we've got this worksheet, and we've got the trip planner. They all work together, and it's whatever works for anybody. Let's see if there's anything else. There's a dining one. Same thing. I think it works better in the trip planner, but they can use it this way if they prefer. And you can set a number of credits that various things will use. You can put that information in the trip planner as well. But all right, so then that's it. You can also get to the older PDF based worksheets that we offered for a long time through the PassPorter's Club for anybody who might want those. They're still accessible. And I think that is mostly it. So at this point, I would love to answer your questions if you have any. Um, there's, we keep the live guide updated all the time. So it's updated at least on a weekly basis because we have new news every week, thanks to Sarah, who is our newsletter editor. But also, as I come across things on a day-to-day basis, I update the books. So they're like totally up to date. It's amazing. I love it. It is the favorite feature of the live guides for me personally, is the ease of updating it. Um, so, but I don't see any questions, guys. Do you have any questions? Because if not, we can end it here. Make sure you guys can still see me and hear me, right? I haven't gotten any texts, so I think I'm still okay. Yes, okay, awesome. Okay, well, if you have questions, you can always email me at jennifer@passporter.com. You can message me on Facebook, Jennifer Anderson Marks. I'm usually on Facebook. Um, as I said, Annette will be giving you access sometime in the next couple days. And then you can log in yourself and you can look around and you can use this and whatever you want to do. So, and the way that I don't know what the qualifying packages are. So forgive me, that's not my thing. Maybe you guys know. I just don't know. But the way it works is that they have access to the live guide for 1 year, and then they can choose. So they'll get an email when that year is coming up and say, "Hey, do you still want to use this? If you do, this is how you can get your own pass." So they'll have that option. They won't lose any of their data. It's not going to happen. The data will be saved. Even if they don't keep a pass, it gets saved in our system. I mean, at some point, perhaps we'll purge things, but at this point, I have no plans to. I don't like it when systems do that to me, so I'm not planning to do that to anybody else. Um, and the clients are getting passes to a specific guide rather than all of the guides. So they have a guide pass rather than an all access pass. But they can choose to get an all access pass if they want to. So it's an option when they go into tools and go to my subscription pass. So there's a note right here that says that they can upgrade for $25 to get the all access pass. It gives them a coupon for a free Passporter binder and pocket set. Um, and the idea is that we have a whole bunch of these, and we send them out free. They just have to pay shipping, handling, and they can print out pages and put them in there. Some people like that. So this is an option that we're doing. I don't know how long I'll be doing it for. Probably when I run out of binders. I don't know. But it's proving very popular right now. So they can do that. There's not currently an automated way to do this because their pass is different than normal passes. They actually will have to create like a new pass, and then So for now, they can email me, but that's certainly an option. So if you get that question, yes, they can do that. If they have a coupon or a gift certificate that they won through Passporter, we can also do that. So they just need to contact me. And I think that's it. Thank you all so much for being here and putting up with the fact that this is my first webinar, the first time using this software, and my technical issues. I really appreciate it. This was cool. This was fun. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me, Facebook me, anything. And I appreciate you being here. So have a great day, everybody. Bye.